Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let's click some likes. Hello, hello. I'm in the middle of a big storm here in Northern California. I hope lots of people join the live. Hi, Janine. Ask questions now. I don't know how many people will join. You know, sometimes, hi, Mary. Ask me, hi, Livy. Reels. Hi, everyone. Ask me some mediumship questions. I just got off my free beginner's mediumship class. And hello. And it was wonderful. I have some really amazing developing mediums in my classes. And tonight my mind was really blown by one of my students. Hi, Mary. Mary Tater. Hi, Manny Maven. Just some incredible evidence they brought through. A very, very, very new beginner medium. Just really blew my mind, and I was extremely impressed, a little choked up even. Spirit brings people together amazingly. I just learned to trust Spirit more and more every single day. Hello. Anybody have any mediumship questions? I could get interrupted. We have a huge storm. I'm in Northern California. I'm in the Bay Area. Any kind of mediumship questions? What do you want to know about? Spirit guides, sitting in the power, how to connect with Spirit, what type of services I offer. Hi, thank you for the follows. Hi, everyone joining. I'm Peaceful Nick the Medium. I've been teaching some mediumship classes. It's really stormy out there. I could lose Wi-Fi and electricity at any moment. VFY, are my guides with me? Always. I actually, in my free class I was just teaching, yes, I do readings. I do professional private readings, and I do free online TikTok readings. All right, so first question. Are my guides with me, Valerie? Yes, your guides are always with you. So if anybody wants to find their guides, I literally just did this a few minutes ago in my mediumship class. If you want to find your guides, you close your eyes, take some deep breaths in, hold, out. Breathe in, hold, out. Then in your mind's eye, inside your head, see if someone's in front of you. Ask them who they are, and ask them if they're a guide. You can type it in, Valerie, if you'd like. If no one's there, that's fine. You do the same thing. Breathe in and out. Look to the right. See if someone's there. Ask them who they are. Are they your guide? Then you look to the left. Ask them who they are. Are they your guide? You can have more than one guide. Some people have guides in all four places. Some people just have one or two. And then you look behind you. You're breathing in. Your eyes are closed. And you ask who they are. And sometimes it's not a human. You can type it in if you found anybody. And the way to verify if these are really your guides is you do this repeatedly over the next few days. You do the same exercise. I find that when I'm in the shower, there's nobody bothering me in my house. I'm in the bathroom, there's nobody bothering me. It's, peace and zen in the bathroom for moms usually. And you do the same exercise with the deep breaths, looking in the front, to the right, to the left, and in the back. If the same people show up every time, those are definitely your guides. Sometimes it's not your guides. Sometimes it's spirits trying to connect with somebody you know. Because if you are opening yourself up to the spirit world, spirits know that, and they'll try to connect with somebody you know, like somebody's mom, dad, uncle, best friend, cousin, whatever. So if you do this spirit guide exercise repeatedly for a few days, a couple times a day, and you'll find the spirit guides are the ones that show up in the same place, that look the same, and tell you the same information every time. So that's the simplest way to find your guide. There's other ways to do it. That's the way I find the easiest. And yes, your guides are always with you. Let's see. Trina, Cozy Corner, great question. Because for a busy person like me, I have 2 jobs and a little side gig also. And I have a husband, and my son comes and goes, and his girlfriend kind of comes and goes and lives part-time with us. It's peaceful in there, and it's meditative, and there's no TV, there's no radio, there's nothing to distract me. It's just me in the water cleansing me. And so the bathroom for me is where spirits show up. It could be different for you. That's where they show up for me. Matt Balance, my behind is not human. I saw it right before you said it. Yeah, and sometimes they're not human. My student earlier had a non-human spirit behind them. Yep. No one is there, Valerie. Okay, so that doesn't mean your guides aren't with you. That may mean you need a different technique to find your spirit guides. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a spirit guide video on there. You can subscribe and watch. I have tons of videos. I have all my live videos on there. I have lots of like educational videos. I need to actually work on making some more of those for this year, but definitely go there. You can do walking down the beach, take a few minutes of breathing. You're walking down the beach, Then you see a chair or a bench and somebody's on the bench. Ask them if they're your guide. That's another technique. There's another technique where you go out into the woods. I made videos on TikTok about this. You go out into the woods. It's a snowy night. You walk into a cabin. There's a candlelight on the table. You sit down at the table and you look across from you, and there's your spirit guide. So there's several different techniques. You definitely have guides. If you're having trouble connecting, that just means you're not in the right mind space to connect at this moment. Okay. What if they are on the right hand side? It's no problem. Some people have guides right, left, center, back. You could have guides above you. It's just an exercise to find them. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just where they are. My spirit connection, when I connect a spirit for readings, 99% of the time I connect on the front right. My focal point's always on the front right. If you've ever seen me do readings live, most of the time I'm looking over to the right-hand side. Most of the time, that's where the spirits come in for me. Occasionally, they'll come in on the left. Most of the time for me, they come in on the right. Hi, Turtle Cat. Oh, yeah. She's also a medium. Go follow her. She's wonderful. She makes wonderful videos. She uses guided meditations because it helps her focus. I agree with that. My husband uses Mindspace, or I think it's called Mindspace. Headspace it's called. He uses a guided meditation every morning, and I have used that with him. I am a terrible meditator. It is one of the problems I face. I'm bad at meditating. I'm bad at sitting in the power. I don't do it nearly as much as I should. I should do it a lot more. I could make a million excuses why I don't. I'm just really bad at it. But guided meditations are very good and can help you settle your mind down so you can connect with your guides. Yes, very good point. Yep. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can go to my channel or go to whoever you connect with and just put guided meditation to find your spirit guide. Yep, she does. Yep, turtle cat. Meditating in the shower as well. It's the only peaceful place. Hi, Crazy for Shepherd Lady. I'm glad to see you. Always the shower for me was spirit. I thought it was the water. It could be that water's a good neutralizer. It neutralizes the energy. Hi, Carol Little. One of my clients. Wonderful to see you here. How's Hazel? Her little granddaughter, Hazel. Yeah, work on that. Good, Valerie. April Jean, do I have anyone trying to communicate with me? Well, spirit always wants to communicate with people. So yeah, the answer to everybody is yeah. And also, I get this question a lot. Are my loved ones safe? Are they at peace? Are they okay? Yes, they're all safe. They're all at peace. They're all okay. There is no pain in the spirit world. There is no hell. There is no agony. There is no resentment. There is no fire and brimstone. Everyone goes to the spirit world. This was one of the hardest things for me to accept when I became a trained medium. Everybody goes to the spirit world. So if you're worried about that, even people who unalive themselves go to the spirit world. So the fact that some religions teach that you go to HE double hockey sticks, that is not true. That's just people trying to discourage you from unaliving yourself, which is a good thing. You don't want to do that. But everyone still goes to spirit. I'd like to know, Matt, what is the one behind you if it's not human? All right, David Cowan. Are you still here? David, give me a yes in caps if you're still here. Hi, oblivious one. I'm great. How are you? User 532 ... You just have to quiet your mind. Meditate. That's all I can tell you. JJD wants to know, do you see Nick and I reconnecting? Jamie, I don't make psychic predictions on here. I always think that if you're not connected, the odds of you reconnecting permanently is probably a reason why you're not connected. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe you're not ready. What I always like to ask people is, do you really look at the full story, the whole gamut of your relationship? Do you really want to connect with him, or do you just want a connection? Because you need to look at the health of that person and the health of yourself emotionally. You don't want to be, that line in Jerry Maguire, you complete me, is BS. You don't want to complete somebody. Trust me. I've been married 27 years together with my husband, 28 years. You don't want two half people. We were in our mid-20s when we got married. We were pretty much two half people. And let me tell you, it has been a struggle. It is hard to be married when you have a lot of stuff you haven't dealt with. I love my husband more than anything, but it's been very difficult and challenging to be two half-made people that weren't fully healthy emotionally. And we still work on that today, every day. So think about, are you healthy emotionally? Is that person healthy emotionally before you want to get back together? No, don't be sorry. Oblivious, you did a reading on me for my dad and grandpa, July 2021, life-changing. I think about the reading often. Oh, thank you very much. That is wonderful to hear. It's always good to hear from a client that I haven't heard from in a while and hear that changed their life. That's the whole reason I do this. I want to help people heal. As someone, I lost my mother when I was young. I was 15, and it really can damage a person permanently. And I like to bring healing to people. I'm glad to hear that. My loved one has been, Tabitha, contacting me a lot lately. Would love help understanding. Well, what are they trying to tell you? If they're contacting you, are they giving you signs like a cardinal? Are they showing you things on TV, through the radio, in conversation? Ask them when they're contacting you from spirit, I presume you're talking about. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and say, what are you trying to tell me? Help me understand. Find your guide. Also, your spirit guide can help you make that connection as well. Oh, yes. First of all, Amanda Parr, yeah, he probably did see your text. Okay, just FYI. That is not a psychic thing. That is just, yeah, probably. Woo it up. Can you explain about soul groups? Yes, I can. So, for anybody interested in soul groups, soul families, lives between when we reincarnate from one lifetime to another, get Journey of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton, a creator on here. I can't think of his name right now. I found out that book from him and it changed my life. Soul groups are groups of souls you reincarnate with over and over and over. It's like your family in the spirit world. So for instance, if you have a best friend that when you met your best friend, you had an instant connection, you've been connected for years and years, and it's like you knew each other and you don't know how you knew each other. That's how it was when I met my husband. When I saw him, I'm like, wow. Like immediately I knew him. I sensed that I knew him for a long time. That's someone in my soul family. Your soul family, that you can come in and reincarnate as different types of relationships. So maybe my husband and I had a different type of relationship. Maybe we were siblings in a previous life. Maybe he was my uncle, or maybe I was his uncle. You know, you don't come in, if I'm a female in this life, if I identify as a female in this life, that doesn't mean I was always a female in every life. Actually, I feel more male energy around it for me than female energy. And I've always felt a little more male energy inside me than female energy. But in this human life, I was born a female and identify as a female. But you are reincarnated as sometimes male, sometimes female. You're not always the same gender every time you're reincarnated. But you are reincarnated if you choose to come back to Earth. You are reincarnated with the same group of people over and over and over and over. So you have a primary soul group, a secondary soul group, and a tertiary, and then everybody else just kind of gets further and further away. Your primary soul group will be somewhere between 5 and 20 souls that you have contact with over and over and over many lifetimes, and you're the closest in spirit. It's like your family in spirit. Your secondary is like, you know, your second cousin that you see at the holidays. You know, it's a little further out, but you still know them and communicate with them, but just not as often as your primary. Tertiary is even further out. It's like your 5th grade teacher that you had a connection with, but then never saw them again after 5th grade. But when you go to spirit, you'll recognize them as somebody in your soul group, but a further out soul group. So soul groups are really important. And when you meet somebody in your primary soul group, and there are checkpoints in our life. We come in with like an outline of the major things we want to do and experience. And one of those things is, in my example of my husband, I met my husband in the most random circumstances. I was in a completely different state that I didn't live in at the time. I was just kind of passing through as I thought I was, and met him oddly at a restaurant, never expecting to meet somebody. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, I know this person. Like, I'm instantly connected forever. Like, I knew it. And blah, blah, blah. We started dating. We're still married to this day. You have certain things that you recognize in the other person that you don't consciously know as a human, but you're like, huh, that's weird. I feel like I've known this person my whole life. Interesting, wonderful. That's the story on soul groups. Let me know if you have more questions. Corley Quirk, yes, I do mediumship readings during lives. However, we are in the middle of a really big storm right now, and I never charge for my live mediumship readings. And I could lose my Wi-Fi any minute, so I don't really want to get into like a deep reading in the middle of this storm. Like, it's crazy. We have flooding and everything. But I usually do. Yep. Oblivious one. Me too. She knew her husband was her soulmate immediately. Oh, great. Vadim's. I'm just going to say, hi, Sean. I often have a ring in my left ear. How should I ask and understand what message they have? Great question. First of all, I get ear ringing a lot. I have a lot of clairaudience. I would make sure you don't have tinnitus, which is an ear ringing, a medical ear ringing. And then, if you don't have tinnitus, ask Spirit to slow down the message. This happens to me. Pay attention to when the ear ringing happens. I notice that when something very important is happening or somebody tells me something very important in everyday life and I need to remember it, my ear will start ringing. That's, I believe, my mother from Spirit saying, this is important, pay attention. This is really important. This is something you need to know about. The other thing is, if it's a spirit just connecting to you at another time, say, can you slow that message down or give me the message in a different way for me to understand it? And they will do that. For me, this happens to me during readings all the time. I will be giving a reading and all of a sudden my ear, especially if it's a really excited spirit, my ear will be that buzzing sound. And I'll be like, you have to slow it down so I can understand it. Because it's like everything they're trying to say is compressed in a file, like a zip file or something. And it's just really loud and ringing. And I'll say, slow it down and give me the information in a different way. And lo and behold, the ringing slows and the information comes in clairvoyantly or claircognizantly, which is a clear knowing, and then I can continue the reading. So you just ask Spirit, slow it down, give it to me in a way I can understand it. Shine wants to know, was I visited yesterday? I believe, can you help? Can you give me some clarification on what you're asking? Melinda, does it take years from the day you pass before you can reincarnate? There are a lot of different opinions on this. My instinct tells me no, it doesn't take years. Some people say it takes 100 years. Some people say it takes 50 years. I don't think there's really an ironclad rule on that. When I do readings, and this happens a lot when there's a child that passes, is born asleep, a child that passes when they're very young. I get this information a lot in my readings, and the information is, we can come back into your same family another time, like the next child or 2 children later, or you can be a cousin or a niece or a nephew in that same family, because like I said before, we reincarnate with the same families over and over again with the same group of people. So a baby, the soul that's connected to the baby, the soul's not a baby. The soul is a soul, fully developed soul. The soul that's connected to that baby who's agreed to come into that family understands before it agrees whether it's going to have a full, complete life, a human life, or whether it's going to have a shortened life. and they can come back in to that family. That's the information I get. So no, it doesn't have to take many, many years for that to happen. That's my opinion. Other mediums may have a different opinion.
Yeah, something from Missouri.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Corley Quirk. I would love to give you a reading, but like I said, we're having a huge storm right now, and I don't want to be mid-reading and lose my Wi-Fi and lose my connection. But I go live, so you can always book a reading, or you can just wait until I go live. I go live here. I go live on YouTube. Yesterday I did a Zoom live where I showed my TikTok to the Zoom, and people could log on there. Thank you, Woo It Up. We had an amazing reading a year ago. Her content is great too. Yep. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Oblivious One, she's 100% worth booking. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, thank you. You have to shine 2023. You have to tell me what happened. I met Trina. I met someone recently and could only see his aura. Couldn't tell what he looks like. Interesting. I don't really do aura work, but you can. I'm sure there's people on this app that do. Make sure it's someone legit. What are the different colors I see when meditating, Harley? It could be any number of things. It could be your space in the spirit world. Could look like that. It could be auras from someone that you're connected with. It could be many, 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 many different things. I can't really decipher that right here. It could be a million different things. You are welcome. For all of you, asking for a reading right now, like I said, there's a huge storm. If you look at Northern California, the Weather Channel has made national news. You will see huge storm. I don't want to give a reading and get cut off. That could be devastating to somebody. Okay, so just know that it's not because I don't want to give readings or I don't feel spirits around me. I just don't want to get cut out in the middle of a reading. Just know that your loved ones are safe and at peace, and no harm has come to them. There is no bitterness, there is no resentment or anything. Just please know that. Can we ever tell, it's a great question, in this lifetime if our past child is reincarnated? So, this is a very tough situation, because as a mother who nearly lost a child, thank God he is still with us, but very close to nearly losing him. The pain I felt there is like nothing I've ever felt, and I can't even imagine for parents who do lose a child. So I would have to say, if you want to know that, make sure you talk to a legitimate medium who can connect to your child. That is not a guarantee there's not a guarantee that you'll get the answer you're seeking. It is common, especially if the child was born early, or miscarried early, or born asleep, meaning stillborn. Those very more often come back into the family later. I would say make sure if you want to find that out from a medium, make sure it's a legit medium. There are some mediums on this app and other places that are very unethical, and they are not giving correct information, and they're using people. Not only that, they're charging people for the bad information, and they're charging people like it's bad. So make sure you get references. I'm always happy to send references to people who are looking for a reading. That's me personally. If you send an email to a medium asking questions, can you help me find out if my child reincarnated? I wouldn't ask that question because that could interfere with the reading. But you can ask them questions, and if they answer you kindly and professionally, that's a good start. But you definitely don't want to give a medium information ahead of time. For me, what I do in my readings is I'll give the reading cold. I don't want any information. If this is a new client, I don't want any information. And then if I feel like the person that they're trying to connect through didn't come in, like in this case, if it's a child, I'll ask the client, is there someone else you wanted to connect with? Do you mind if I connect you with that person or try to connect with that person? And because as a medium, you want to be legit. You don't want to be like asking questions. Who do you want to connect with? What's their name? How did they die? If a medium asks you that is not a real medium. I don't want any information before a reading. I hope to not have any information, because then it's just not ethical. It's just not right. It's cheating. And then you kind of have information ahead of time. It's like cheating on a test. So if you want to know that, find a legit medium. I have a client on here, if she's still on here, and I connected to her granddaughter, and boy, was that a powerful spirit. And wow, the things she told me were incredible. So babies can be connected with, because the baby is just the human form. The spirit is not a baby. The spirit is a fully formed spirit. Oh, Oblivious One, thank you. I asked my dad to bring up a couple things and it was spot on. Yep. That's how they do. DLLLL. I'm not, because we're in the middle of a storm. I'm not doing readings right now because I don't want the Wi-Fi to cut out in the middle of a reading. If you look at Northern California, you'll see the storm. I am in the flood zone and I could be evacuated or lose electricity any second now. I'm just kind of, yep, Carol, that's your Hazel. Oh, I'll never forget Hazel. She brought some stuff up I couldn't believe. Oh, crazy for Shepherd Lady. She told me everything without me saying a word. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Makes me feel so happy. Oh, Coast. Goodbye. Some people, they just don't believe. What about spirit guides bringing messages via animals? Yes. And the exact message can be picked up. Yes, if you are connected, sure. Spirit guides can be animals. Spirit guides can communicate through your animals. Spirit guides can communicate with you in any way that you're open to. Yes, they can. Oh yeah, the Starman cover art. Yep, that's right. Yeah, the crazy storm. Hi, Nick, Erica, Ann. Oh, hi. We still have power. Yeah, we do, right? Obviously. Oh, no, what happened? We do have power. I'm on the bay side. But it's pouring pretty heavy right now. They trimmed all our palm trees outside yesterday at our place here. So hopefully that'll keep any branches from crashing through the window tonight. But it's supposed to be a big one tonight. Oh, yay, Crazy for Shepherd Lady. I booked twice and hope to do a third one next month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, Danielle Berry. Yes, what do you do with your spare time? Are there books or people you enjoy? Well, I have a full-time job as a science educator. I have my mediumship business, and then I have a part-time space advocacy group I work with. So those are, I have a pretty full life. I have a family, I have a husband, I have 2 sons, a daughter-in-law, etc. But as far as reading, I read Eckhart Tolle. I love him. Don Miguel Ruiz, Dr. Michael Newton. I love reading books. I like TV. I like watching movies, things like that. I'm just a normal person in my everyday life. I'm a science educator and science communicator. That was my career for many years before I became a medium, and I'm still involved very much with that. Science is one half of my heart. Mediumship is the other half. And I know it sounds crazy, but it works. And they do go together more than you think. You are welcome, Danielle. Streganegra. I had a sparrow fly into my house the other day. I had other experiences with birds the last 2 months. Yeah, my mom comes to me as a dove, and interestingly, we just moved into a new place, and there are like a million doves outside where I live. She always comes through to me with doves. She loved doves. I've had many dove experiences with her, so birds are definitely a sign. If you have a sign like that and immediately you think of your loved one, that's them communicating with you. It'd be the same for butterflies, dragonflies, snow globes. My spirit guide communicates with me through snow globes. I have a million snow globe stories. Woo it up. I appreciate you answering all these questions. I think my daughter is a young soul. Any advice? No. Patience. Patience. There are some young souls. However, there's someone in my life who I believed for many years, someone I love very deeply. For many years, I believed this person was a young soul. And I was wrong, because what I realized through my meditation practice, when I was forced to do it, because I'm bad at it, my sitting in the power, and when I was going through mediumship training, I had to do all of these exercises. And what I realized is the person who I love so much, who I thought was this young soul who was driving me crazy, is my biggest teacher, and is really an advanced soul, challenging me constantly to do better, to be better, to learn. Patience is like the big lesson. Patience and unconditional love and compassion. So sometimes you think somebody's a young soul and you think they're really immature, and they're really there to teach you a lot of stuff. And that's what I realized. So, I'm not saying that to your daughter, but definitely think about, is she there to challenge you and teach you things that, just kind of reverse the perspective and see if that resonates. It might not, but it might. So good luck. I feel you. Yeah, you felt it was your grandma. Yeah. Oh, Jim comes to you with hawks. Yeah. See, they're consistent too. They'll come to you over and over and over with the same thing. Oh, Tequila and Donuts is here. Hi. Hello, Kayla, Cheyenne. Thank you everyone for the likes and follows and clicking likes. Ooh, I have 5.2 thousand likes. That's a good one. I wasn't even expecting to go live. I actually need to go make some dinner here in the next couple of minutes before the electricity goes. Hopefully it won't. I plan on doing more lives. I come on. I did a live yesterday. So I have, everything's in my link tree. I have a YouTube channel. I have Instagram. I don't really have a lot of followers on Instagram. I'm not really on there a lot. I have, I teach classes. I'm starting a new beginner's mediumship class at the end of the month. I'm in the middle of my intermediate class. I'm going to add some one-off classes like specializing and finding your spirit guides and doing, you know, certain things, so you're not committed to 6 months or anything. So just specific things. I have to add those to my website. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. Definitely go on my YouTube. I have a merch store, gift cards if you want to gift somebody a reading. You can book a reading. Any of those things every day. I was on your Zoom, but it was Jim's account, so I thought that was too weird and logged off. Why? Oh, you should have stayed on. Yeah, yesterday I had a really, what was the name on there? Because there was, I don't think it was you though. I feel like it was someone else. What was it his first and last name, or was it some other weird name? 'Cause somebody was on there with a weird name, and I had this really strong feeling that I had a message for them, but then somebody was coming to do a repair at my house and I couldn't concentrate, so I didn't want to give a message like that. How does a spirit nudge work? Well, I've had a lot of those in my life where something presents itself to you. Let's say, for example, a job opportunity. A job opportunity will present itself to you when you don't think it's the right one, and then you apply for it and you get it, and you didn't even have to try that hard. That happened to me. I moved my whole family across the country because of one job that I saw. No, I'm not a witch. I don't do spells. I saw one job posting for one place, and I applied for this one job posting, and in 6 weeks, I got the job, like within a couple of weeks. And 6 weeks later, I sold my house, moved my whole family across the country. So to me, that's a spirit nudge. Just like, okay, you're done here. You need to go here. And it changed all of our lives. I'm sorry you had health issues, oblivious one. Oh, all I saw was James Trudeau. Okay, so it wasn't yours. Okay. It was somebody else. Okay, user 13, you're so smart. People who mess with me, they don't even know. Don't even know. I ain't the one. I'm nice and peaceful. Don't cross me though. Yeah, Zodiac and Pikachu, good for you. When you know, you know. That's right. Yeah, trolls. You know, before I wrap up here and go eat some dinner because I'm starving, trolls are just sad people who need some guidance and need some love. They just don't have enough love in their life, and they're empty. And it's very sad. And so for all the trolls out there who want to say mean things, I'm sending you love and peace and healing. And I do have a mean streak if you cross me. So don't do that. Okay? Oh, wow. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community experience. Thank God. Thank you for all the follows, and thank you for hanging out with me in this unexpected live. I appreciate it. I will hopefully do a live. Well, I can't do one Saturday because I have readings and classes next week sometime, hopefully. Thank you everyone for joining and following, and all my links are in my bio and the link tree. And good luck to everyone in Northern California and anywhere experiencing weather problems. I love you all. Thank you for joining. Good night.